Hey guys, happy Friday. We made it through the end of the week. The markets did finish the week lower on the week, but today finished up strong. Hopefully this is the last time we hear the word tariffs for a while, although I know it's not gonna be. The financial media, everybody, every time the markets fell, the only thing that we had to use was to be able to say markets fall on concerns of tariffs. Markets fall on concerns of trade wars. So that was the week of using that word. If you played a drinking game for every time the word tariffs was said, you're probably not with us right now because they said that a lot. So we're going to dive into it here and get started. Got a new layout. What do you think? First full week with this layout. I love it. I think it looks pretty good. So we're going to continue with it. I wish, guys, I wish I could somehow highlight the topic that we're talking about. There's just no way. It's just an overlay. So we'll keep playing with it. If you guys know any software out there that does sort of live editing in real time, we're more than happy to use it, put it to work. But for now, that's what we're working with. My cell phone's still off. You'd think I would learn about this. Little housekeeping before we get started. And what we do today, by the way, is a weekly update for our clients. How'd your investments do? How'd the markets do? We really don't focus on individual stocks, though we can talk about a few things. And so I want to start off with a little housekeeping. Wine and Wealth next Thursday for our clients. We're going to talk about the very intricate details of the budgeting features inside of Nasdaq. We're going to show you how, if you like, you could put me in charge of your budget and your finances. If you want a phone call when you spend too much, you want a phone call when your credit card goes over a little too much, I can help you with that. So we're going to have some fun with it. It'll be a short class. You'll get a couple more emails with the direct link if you're a client. If you're not a client of Jazz Wealth, hey, give us a shot. Check us out. See what we do. Schedule a call. See what we can help you with there. Also, housekeeping, if you are making a contribution to your IRA and you want it to be counted for 2017, you got to let me know. When you go into your account, you're going to choose 2017 to make your contribution for the previous year. If you only had $1,000, let's say, in your Roth IRA contributed for 2017, by all means, let's go back in time. Let's count all your contributions for back in time. Be sure to let me know that. You're running out of time. Tax day is the last day. And also, if you're thinking about doing a lump sum contribution, be sure to choose 2017. If you're not sure how much you contributed in 2017, send me an email. Let's talk about it. I'll get you the exact number. Use that to your advantage while you can. Also on Instagram, we're doing our 50-second financial tips. Got another one coming up for you today as soon as I'm done here. So we'll do that. Now, let's talk about the markets. We're going to go over to the charts here a little bit. First of all, where are we? First of all, the stock market was down on the week a little bit, up for the day. So the Dow closed higher by 72, S&P added 4, the Nasdaq was flat, didn't do anything. But you can see here, if we look at the S&P, this is the S&P futures, they just sort of slid off their highs. Not a big deal. Most people actually are okay with this considering how we've moved on the way up here. Now, since we're looking at weekly, we want to know how did your investments do from one week to the other. What we do is we pull it up. We're going to change pace a little bit here where we're going to say, okay, I want to see the S&P 500, but every blip that's on this screen now represents 1 week, not 1 day. So here was the really scary week in February, the recovery, and so on and so on. You can see that we're playing a little bit of a Christmas tree game here. Red, green, red, green, red, green. This week, a little bit red. Although when you look at the big picture, okay, a little shaky here in the short term, not really much to be concerned with overall. So let's go through some of the sectors here. We're going to talk about energy. Let me see. No, we'll go to energy last because I've got that on your thing there. So let's start with, and again, everything is a weekly performance, right? So this green that you see here on the screen, right down here at the bottom, that's for all of this week. The red one there is all of last week. So what we're looking at here is we're going to go through some bonds. Your bonds, both short-term and long-term, came off the lows a little bit. I don't think there's anything really to get excited about there. Bonds are going to be an underperformer. They're your safety play, but they are going to be an underperformer in my opinion. Emerging markets, we do a lot with emerging markets here. Week by week, not much, right? There's a lot of news to digest, and I understand that for emerging market type investments. So a little bit back and forth, not a big deal there. Technology, we've been talking nonstop about technology, the amazing run, the support that it's given your retirement investments. And this week it's just taking a break, right? So last week was overly exciting. This week investors say, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll wait and see if I can get some cheaper prices. So a little bit calm there. That's also the reason why the Nasdaq was flat on the day. Technology just a little bit behind. Short-term bonds, intermediate bonds, long-term bonds, all coming off lows a little bit. Nothing too exciting. When we look at the broad-based indices, your S&P, your Nasdaq, not your Russell, but your the Dow, any holdings in those, of course, down a little bit. We just talked about the markets being down a little bit on the week, but nothing too scary for the moment. Anything commodity-wise, just continuing its slow but steady trend here. This week, not very exciting. There were some good days and bad days in there. All in all, commodities finished about even on the week, so nothing exciting there. And your small cap, mid cap stocks, if you're, compare this to your mutual funds. When you're in your 401k and you see, oh, I've got some small cap, I've got some mid cap, large cap, that's all we're talking about here. With your retirement investments with us, when we look at our small and mid cap stocks, they had a great run. Remember, tech and mid cap and small cap all had a great week last week. Just a little quiet this week. Very, very normal after such a strong week. REITs, you guys with your REITs doing good here. So it broke through that downtrend, finished the week actually quite strong, trying to recover from that most recent little sell-off there. So REITs, one of the standout sectors there. And lastly, we have energy. It did finish basically in the same range that it's been in. But remember, yesterday we talked about the price of oil and how oil was going to have an impact on energy going forward. Well, it happened sooner than I predicted. So we had these series of lower highs and a series of higher lows, meaning every time it fell, it didn't fall as far. Every time it rallied, it didn't rally as far. And so that creates this pinching sort of pattern. And we said once it goes above this area or below, that's where people will make major decisions. And today that was the case. Made it above there. Oil was up over 2% at one point today, trying to break out and start that new move higher. We'll take it. That helps our energy positions there. So that's basically it. We're going to keep this really short. Some stocks in the news. A couple things, actually. Consumer sentiment, that came out today. Consumer sentiment supposedly is at the highest levels since 2004, I think it said. Yeah, consumers are overly confident about their personal finances and their favorable economic outlook as well as taxes. So looks like you guys are all excited about that. What else do we have here? Shares of Ulta Beauty. How did they finish on the day? Ulta. Shares of Ulta up 7.5% today, earnings related. That was your best performer in the S&P, by the way. Adobe shot to new highs today. Here's the charts if you want to look at it. Adobe shot up to new highs today. It appears that more and more people are signing up for their Creative Cloud Suite. I'm a subscriber to that. I do enjoy that Creative Cloud Suite, although it's more than I could possibly handle. Still interesting. And Tiffany, one of your luxury retailers, earnings came in per share better than expected. Revenue was better than expected. A little bit slower on their same-store sales. And they also said going forward, we're not that optimistic. So not bad. The stock was only down about 5% today if you happen to be invested in Tiffany's. Well, that's it. We're going to stop there. I have nothing else for you. I hope you have a great weekend. If you have questions, if you're thinking about Jazz Wealth or you're a client and you have questions, I'm going to be around this weekend. So if you need help with anything, you'll probably be able to get in touch with me. Send me an email. Let's see what we need to do. I will be happy to help you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next week.